There was nothing down here saying it's a restricted area.
What do you want?
I was taking some pictures and stuff. I'm making a little video of the area. Local force. That sort of stuff.
Purpose?
Pardon?
For what purpose?
With public interest.
To go where?
Pardon?
To go where?
Well, for public.
You're quite clearly filming us at the moment.
Yes, yeah. I film any interaction. Have you two police officers, are you?
Yes.
Have you got your warrant cards with you there, since you're not in uniform? Pardon?
I'm walking out of a police building, aren't I?
Yeah, but you're obviously doing a stop and account with me, so I'd like... But you are, you're asking what I'm doing, which is by definition a stop and account. You're asking what I'm doing in an area, that's a stop and account. So if you're engaging in a policing activity, I'd like to know your warrant card, otherwise I'm just going to disengage from you and carry on with my business.
Okay.
Alright then. Alright, refusal to identify. So I'm just going to get your picture so I can report you to your chief constable.
Okay.
Cool.
This incident is a clear violation of the College of Policing's Code of Ethics. The guidance leaves no room for doubt. Whenever officers interact with the public in the course of their duties, they must provide their name and collar number. This identification isn't optional or a polite gesture. It's a fundamental requirement meant to uphold transparency, accountability, and public trust. Without it, people are left in the dark about who they are dealing with and have no way to hold that officer responsible if things go wrong.
You alright?
Not bad, how are you?
How's it going? What are you up to?
Just, as you see, just taking some pictures out of your cars and out there.
Oh, okay.
That's all. Yeah. And you are, sorry?
Police officer.
And your collar number?
Are you an auditor, are you? Or
And your collar number, please?
I have to give you my collar number. It's my identification, it's on my shoulder there.
And then if I can't read, it's not your policy to identify for members of the public?
I don't need to.
No, it's not identified.
When asked to identify himself, the officer claimed that pointing to his collar number was enough and that he didn't need to say anything further. But that argument doesn't hold up. If the number is too small, obscured, or simply not visible from where a person is standing, then the gesture is meaningless. Officers are required to clearly state their identity out loud. Verbal identification isn't a box-ticking exercise. It's a safeguard. It guarantees transparency, reassures the public, and provides the information needed to question or follow up on an encounter. Without it, accountability doesn't just weaken, it collapses.
It's just cause issues, or you just have
No, I'm just here to take pictures and that, that's all. As I said, I've just noticed as I was walking down to take pictures, your colleague's window was open, I could see the screen, made them aware of it.
Okay, that's have they sorted that?
Yeah, they closed the window, fine. Yeah, it's so simple as that.
Cool. Okay, we're not here to cause you a problem. I'm sure you're not here to cause a problem. We're just,
You know, your colleagues not in uniform refuse to identify while engaging in a policing activity. Not fantastic, is it? It's against policy. You are required to identify. You're engaging in a stop and account. You are required to identify. Because if I have any complaints, how am I supposed to make that complaint if you haven't kept yourself to the accountability standards that the force requires? So, you know, again, you refuse to identify properly because, again, you don't know that I can read, so you're refusing to identify properly. Yes, you're in uniform, but again, if I want to make a complaint against you,
you can give the time and date and where the location where you are. My body cam's recording, so it can all be.
How come it's taking you this long to let me know that your body cam's recording?
I'm talking.
And is the policy not to, at the first most practical opportunity to allow that?
That was the most practical time to inform
was it?
You.
So because you come in and gone hands-on with me?
I haven't gone hands-on.
Exactly. So why is not the first thing that you say, good afternoon or morning?
What you're doing, because that's the first question I asked you, and then we've had a conversation, and now I've told you.
Yeah. But the first most practical opportunity is to say, good. By the way, you are being recorded.
Okay.
Otherwise, you could be covertly recording me under the Regulations of Investigatory Powers Act.
When the officer finally admitted he was recording, he excused it by saying there hadn't been a practical moment to mention it earlier. But the reality tells a different story. The exchange was calm, orderly, and free of any urgency or distraction. Nothing stopped him from stating, right at the outset, "I'm recording." This wasn't about timing, it was about attitude. Failing to disclose in a clear and timely way shows disregard for both policy and public accountability, sending the dangerous message that the rules are flexible when they are not.
But that's not happening, so don't worry about that.
It could, because it took you X amount of time to alert me when there was plenty. The only situation where it's not practicable at the first opportunity is if you're going into a hands-on situation. Any other time, there's no reason, and this has been dealt with in the tribunal by the tribunal that deals with the REFA Act, that the first most practical opportunity is when you approach somebody. If you have your camera on or you turn it on, if you approach with your camera on, you should alert them when you approach, unless you're going hands-on. If you turn it on whilst engaging in a conversation, you should turn it on, and then once it's recording, so it's stated on the camera, by the way, you are being recorded for my safety and your safety, blah, blah, blah. You have the right to do it, same way that I have the right to do it. It's not a problem. It's the notification that's the problem.
Okay.
You know.
I've notified you at a time that I think is practical, so I've done that, so it's fine.
Okay, you can justify that to a tribunal. It's fine, no worries.
So what are you
so you're going to try to identify yourself properly yet?
No, I'm happy.
You're happy, yeah?
Yeah.
Would you like to identify yourself, or would you like a complaint as well, sir?
So, can I ask you a question? Before my colleague steps in, just can I? So, my name is PC2376.
Thank you. So that's how it's done. Thank you.
My colleague there was obviously made aware that the window was open.
Yeah.
And he's got concerns because of data protection and that you might have recorded something on your phone from the screens.
If there is anything, I'm not sure if there is or not. If anything is captured on there, that will be evidence for me to report that to the Information Commissioner's office, because obviously the onus of data protection is on the organisation, not on whoever sees that information.
You don't expect someone to stick their head through the window.
I didn't stick my head through it.
At this point, another officer tried to shift blame onto the auditor, claiming he shouldn't have been leaning through the window or filming exposed data. But the legal position is clear. Under the Data Protection Act, the responsibility to protect information rests with the organization that holds it, not with a member of the public who happens to see it. If sensitive material is left visible, that constitutes a data breach. Full stop. The fault doesn't lie with the camera. It lies with the police for failing to safeguard their systems properly.
I saw it from a public
because
place.
somebody else's information, this is a secure site. Well,
I understand that.
it's not as secure as we'd like.
Well, no, exactly. It's not secure at all, is it? Really?
No. We are trying to work on that, but unfortunately, you have to do with what you've got to.
Yeah. Even a bit of signage saying no unauthorised access beyond this point would go a long way, because I do respect signs like that.
No, okay.
But I did have a look around, and there is nothing there.
I will genuinely take that to the senior leadership team, because
Fantastic.
I think that is fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are trying to redo everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Financially, we have to wait until the budget.
That's right. It's quite a small town, isn't it? Lower priority. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
We get shoved right to the bottom type of thing. We're right on the borders, between different forces and that. So it is totally. I understand where you're coming from, and I'll pass it on to the senior leadership.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I've just got concerns about the data protection that's on that video. Do you know what I mean? Because that's somebody else's private stuff and that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we obviously learn from things like that. So you've pointed it out. They've closed the window. It is really hot in there. We've got no air conditioning.
Again, I completely understand that, but obviously data protection takes priority over that, unfortunately. You can get a fan in there, and I understand, I've worked in many various locations where health and safety data protection takes priority over that.
Does that go live? Is that a live?
It's not. I'm not live streaming. No.
If there is something, would you delete that?
Not necessarily delete it, but I would make it anonymous. I would blur it out if there is anything, if I were to post it anywhere.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
It's not their fault. You know what I mean?
No, of course. I've raised the issue. I've raised the issue of data protection, and obviously I raise it as an issue because I do see it as an issue. I'm not going to go share that information. That would be very hypocritical of me, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
So if there is anything captured on the camera, it won't be made available to the public. It will be forwarded to the ICO.
That's fine. Yeah. Can I take your details?
No,
Can I take your name?
No, I'm alright.
Just first name, so I know who I'm speaking to.
No, I'm alright, thank you.
So you've got my caller number, but I can't take yours.
Yeah, but as a Crown servant, obviously you have issues of accountability when dealing with members of the public, and that's why. Yeah, I know.
Your first name.
I know.
I don't even know anything
I know, but then
else,
obviously
so
that coupled with my image, which obviously he's notified me is recording.
Obviously we do that because I'm open and honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We record things so that you can see what we do. And we can
absolutely.
See,
I completely agree with the use of body cameras. Completely.
That's the thing is that I can't hide saying, "Oh no, I didn't say this to this man," or "This man didn't say anything."
No, exactly the same reason why I record any interaction I have with you as well.
Yeah, that's why we record everything. I have to protect my back because the amount of people have said we do things.
Of course,
we don't.
Yeah. But with your collar number and that, obviously, you're bound. You have to identify. You did it correctly verbally because you can't guarantee that I can read.
What I mean?
But you have to wear that for accountability reasons. That's why I'm entitled to have that, because you're dealing with a member of the public in a stop and account situation. Accountability, you have to identify yourself for that exact reason, which he doesn't seem to understand. And sorry, we got interrupted. Would you like the opportunity to identify?
4988 PC Biffin.
Sorry,
PC Biffin.
And your collar number, please?
4988.
4988. There you go. Thank you. Would you like another opportunity?
No, I'm fine.
No, you're fine. Okay, so you're just going to be an absolute idiot.
Interestingly, the other officers on scene had no hesitation in identifying themselves. They gave their names and numbers when asked, professional, clear, and without issue. Yet this one officer, faced with the same simple request, chose a very different path. Rather than demonstrating accountability, he doubled down. His response came across as dismissive, as if the rules didn't apply to him. That kind of behavior, where ego takes precedence over duty, erodes the very foundation of public trust in policing.
And you know, we have to rely
Yes,
on
but
that.
you have a collar number for the specific reason. As we've just heard us discuss, for accountability reasons, you're making a very large assumption that I have the ability to read that my eyesight is good enough to read that.
These two officers are identified, and if you do need my details, they can be.
Okay, that's still again, that's not your policy, so that's fine. I'll make a complaint to your chief constable. That's not a problem. Actually, I'll probably go straight through the IOPC because otherwise it goes to your local PSD and gets kicked down and disregarded.
That's not a problem.
Yeah, no worries. Get a nice picture of your face as well, so I can just make sure that goes to the right person.
Yeah, no problem.
Is there anything else we can help you with today, sir?
No. I said, you know, obviously, I've made the issue of that window and I've made that aware.
Which I'm literally.
Moments like these reveal an important truth. It's not always the dramatic incidents that shape public trust. More often, it's the routine interactions, the everyday choices where professionalism is either respected or ignored. When officers dismiss basic obligations, shift blame, or treat the rules as optional, that's when confidence in policing starts to erode. Accountability isn't measured by how you respond to major events. It's measured by whether you uphold the standards consistently, even in the smallest situations. That's the true test of integrity.